Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Bogdan and across the street from the Pentagon, where we are at the offices of the F-35 Lightning II fighter program, the Joint Strike Fighter, and we're honored to have with us as our guest joining us the outgoing program executive officer for the F-35 program, Lieutenant General Chris Bogdan. Sir, thanks very much for taking some time with us.
Vago, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss the program with you as I leave the PEO of the F-35.
I wanted to start off first by asking you, give us an update on the program. You know, what's the performance of the jet? Where are we in terms of cost? And what are some of the outstanding challenges that your successor, Vice Admiral Matt Winter, is going to have to handle?
Well, the program has made a lot of progress over the last few years. Today, when it comes to the development of the program, we can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel for that big development program that started in 2001. We think by the end of this year we'll be just about done with all the flight testing that'll deliver the full capability of the airplane. We'll take 2018 to finish out some of the spec compliance things, and then sometime between the beginning of the year and the springtime, we'll deliver the full capability of the airplane, the A, the B, and the C model. Relative to our production ramp, we're in the midst of the biggest production ramp that this program is ever going to see. We're going from about 60 airplanes a year next year to 90 to 120, and then all the way up to over 150 in the next 3+ years. And we're in the midst of that, and it's going fairly well. Additionally, we're attempting to build a global sustainment enterprise throughout the whole world. We've broken the world up into 3 regions: Pacific region, North American region, and European region. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a full sustainment capability in each of those regions such that any F-35, no matter who owns it in a particular region, would never have to take their jet out of that region to get the full spectrum of sustainment capabilities, from repairs to parts supply to depot maintenance. So we're in the midst of building that up. That's going to take another 3 or 4 years to get there. Relative to costs on the program, the development cost has stabilized out. We know how much it's going to cost to finish the development program, and despite what some of the critics say about it being $1 billion more, we're not tracking to that. We're tracking to be right on budget to what we told the department this year and last year we would finish the development program with. Relative to the cost of production, continues to come down. As you saw, from Lot 9 to Lot 10, we saw about a 7.5% reduction in the price of each of the models of the airplane. We're going to continue to see those trends as we move into Lot 11 and beyond with Lot 12, 13, and 14. The goal there is by 2020 to deliver an A model airplane that's about $79 million, including an engine, including all the fees in 2020 dollars, and have the B and the C model commensurately come down about the same percentage-wise. So from that perspective, we're pretty pleased with the cost curve that we're on. O&S costs are coming down. They're just not coming down as quickly as we'd like them to. We've got to work really hard on our reliability and maintainability. We've got to work really hard on improving our supply chain so that the cost for flying the airplane continues to come down, just like the procurement cost of the airplane.
Has the ALICE system, which is that integrated logistics systems for the aircraft, it was problematic last time we spoke, which was at the Royal International Air Tattoo. What kind of progress has been made on that, and how is that affecting your cost per flying hour?
Right. ALICE, complicated system, millions and millions and millions of lines of code. We put out a new version of ALICE starting at the beginning of the year, which integrated the engine into the system, as well as tracking all the parts on the airplane that have to be periodically inspected. That was a big capability. It's late. That increment is late. We wanted to put it out in the field starting in January. It really got out into the field starting in March, so we were a few months late doing that. But in the places we've put it out, it's done a much, much better job than the previous version of ALICE in doing those things. Until we have all of the units on that version of ALICE and continue to improve it, we're going to see manpower in the field a little higher than we want to, which then results in a higher cost to operate the airplane. So ALICE and improving it is one of the keys to getting the operating and sustainment costs of the airplane down. ALICE, from a technical perspective, is looking pretty good. It's just a little bit behind because it was harder than we thought to put out this new increment.
Do you think, let me go to the unit cost of the aircraft. One of the key features of the program has always been volume. Volume is what's going to be your salvation in terms of getting down to that cost. But Congress occasionally has not really cooperated, and there have been some movement in the overall numbers that are going to be in the program. Are you confident that the number of the jets you need to get back on that schedule are going to be supported by the Congress to keep you on that track? And how much motion can there be in the money Congress gives you that doesn't then negatively impact the program?
Right. Well, one of the good things about the F-35 program is the airplane is being purchased not only by the U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force. In fact, nearly 50% of the volume of airplanes we're going to procure in the next 3 to 5 years are from our FMS customers and our partners. So as long as there's not a large variation in what they do, any moderate variation in what the U.S. services do really doesn't have a great impact. But having said that, over the last 3 years, the Congress has been very supportive and has added airplanes to what the department has asked for. In fact, in the last 2 years, they've added 17 more airplanes, and I believe this year's bill also adds airplanes in addition, 11 more airplanes in addition to what the department asked for. So from that perspective, we feel fairly confident that the numbers for the program of record moving along are going to stay where they are or even get higher. And as you correctly stated, one of the keys to driving down the cost is the volume. We think the volume is going to be there. We have future FMS customers that'll probably come on to add to that even. So from that perspective, we're not all that concerned.